Hey everyone, and welcome back to our office. We've been at my house for the past, weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. Not only are we back here, Justin, is there something else that you're back at?
My boycott is over.
It's done?
Michelob Ultra has learned their lesson.
Yeah, good.
They haven't reached out to me yet, but I think it's coming.
Yeah, probably. So, I have your icy cold Ultra. Now, you can't just say that the Ultra is better this time just because you've gone without for a month. Not that anyone believes you've actually gone without in your personal household.
What, really?
Okay, so what we're drinking today is Haley, my wife. She makes a sangria that blows everyone's mind. I hate sangria. I don't think I've ever tried her sangria, but she made us a special batch this morning with the disclaimer that it's supposed to hang out for like a day and a half and have all the juices do their thing with all the fruit and all that. So, actually, I probably should have grabbed another Ultra too because I might hate this. But nonetheless, here we are.
All right, so down the hatch.
Yeah.
It's good.
So fruity, so sweet. I love you, babe, but it's not my jam.
No, it's fruity. It's those both.
Do you know what sangria is or no?
It's alcohol and fruit.
You're not wrong.
And ice.
No, it's usually like a base of wine, like a red wine. So I think we had a cab or something that she put in there. And then with, fresh fruit juices. And
Did you give the expensive cab to this drink?
no, it was not. You don't actually. She asked me about this bottle because it was given to us as a gift, and we hadn't tried it. And we're like, is it expensive or cheap? And we looked it up and realized it was a cheap gift. So they're no longer friends with us.
What's the price on the bottle?
Like it was like $12 or $14.
So a reasonable price.
Oh my god, no. It's not a bottle that I would drink. Otherwise, I'd probably just regift it to you, honestly. Which is probably what happened to us. Someone probably who likes wine got this as a gift. Like, we're not keeping this, and so they regifted it to us. Yeah. Do we have questions?
We do have questions. All right, I'll read off the first one. The agency I work at recently went through an agency management system conversion. The training timeline was a little aggressive and rushed. Day-to-day at the agency post-conversion has been brutal. Employees are struggling to adjust to the new system. Work is getting backlogged and the frustration is being felt across the organization. How do we course correct from here?
Okay, I'm going to probably say some things I shouldn't say. But if you work for an agency management system, you need to do a better job of this. I was just talking with an agency the other day who's looking to switch over to total CSR, but they're like, we're so bogged down because we're switching to this new agency management system. And they told us it would be one thing and one process, and it hasn't been. It's been complete opposite. There's no guidance. They're not teaching us how to build it out. We have to pay all this extra dollars. I personally think the agency management systems need to do a significantly better job at onboarding new agencies onto their platforms. It was such a struggle for us when we did ours. It took so long, and half the things we wanted it to do and were kind of sold it was going to do, it didn't do, and then we had to jimmy rig it to make it work and all that,
Well, I think to a certain extent, and you tell me if I'm wrong, because you dealt with Salesforce a lot more. In a way, it operated like Salesforce, and like
for sure, 100%. Yeah, if any of you guys have dealt with Salesforce, we were very, very fortunate. So when we stopped doing kind of direct mail a decade ago, I don't know what that was, and started utilizing Salesforce and doing email marketing and various other usages for a CRM, we thought we could sign up for Salesforce and just kind of be off and running. And you really have to build those things out. We had a buddy of mine who worked for a consulting arm of Deloitte, and he was able to help us and kind of build it out on the cheap for us as a side project. But otherwise, he told me, he's like, this is all we do for major corporations, and the project I'm doing for you is like if in terms of hours, what I did for you, it'd be $50,000 or $60,000. He charges like $5,000, right?
Yeah.
So it's just insane amounts of money that nobody knows that they go into it, walking into it. Now, Salesforce might be better right now. I mean, we'll know pretty quickly. We're about to go into another migration of Salesforce for Total CSR, so we'll know if that's going to be the same kind of beast. Supposedly, they've gotten better with these things, but I'm sorry that you're going through that. But I think every single agency management transition is that same process, and it's awful.
So you're giving a non-answer, just venting.
Yeah. I'll think of an answer. You can give an answer, and then I'll try and make one up.
So we were fortunate, and you guys have heard us reference the fact that we have a Linda, and that Linda was fully capable of building out the system.
What about people who don't have a Linda?
I know. As I said, we are fortunate. But there are now implementation specialists, and when you're looking at a new system, you need to budget. I mean, that's the short answer is if you're struggling right now, there's a cost to the organization. So you're probably struggling likely due to the fact that you're trying to do it on your own. And so you probably should go and leverage the outside help, and you're going to weigh how much you're going to spend. I think we spent, if we were going to calculate it, what would have been $70,000, $80,000 on developing out our online system.
Yeah, but we're still doing that every year and making changes to things. Like, it's not a one-time deal.
I know, but to get up and going, and you've got two problems too. You have the system that the agency management system you were on before, and then they make it very difficult to get the data out of that system.
Right.
They make it just as rough as possible.
Well, but not. I don't even buy that, because there are, like, I mean, you have Applied and Vertafore are like the two main players, and they all have multiple systems, right? And so they shouldn't make it difficult to. I get trying to make it difficult for you to migrate off to competition, but it should be easy to upgrade, amidst your own.
But that's what I'm talking about, is if you're evaluating not an upgrade within the system or switching from...
No, but it's difficult to go from, an old system that Applied would have to a new system with Applied, or the same thing with Vertafore.
And I think that has improved over time, because they've got the mapping down. But what there is no incentive is, if I'm on Vertafore and I'm converting to Applied, or if I'm on Applied and I'm converting to Vertafore, or you name the other agency management system, there's no incentive for them to make it easy. And so matching up the data, and then the other issue is what you most commonly run into is garbage in, garbage out. People in your office weren't all doing it the same way.
Right.
And so it wasn't even the agency management system's fault to begin with. You just had the wrong data in the wrong fields. And we had that when we first converted.
Totally.
So you've got the human error capacity too. So in this case, if you're already in the mess, you need to determine, did you put the information in wrong and that's causing the frustration? Is it's not doing what you want it to be doing, and the person you have in charge of the project is not capable of getting across the finish line? It may just be they just don't understand how the system works well enough, because the 8 hours of development time or tutoring you purchased through your onboarding package wasn't enough. You can outsource it. There's several companies, and if you email me, I'll let you know who they are and put you in contact with them that can do that. But you've got to figure out who's the source of the problem, how do we clean up the data, and then plan on budgeting tens of thousands of dollars to get it done right.
Well, and that's going to be the problem, though, is that still these are the these obstacles to get into these new agency management systems are so high. They're obviously very expensive systems. Now, I'm not saying that they're not worth their salt, right? They are. Like, once they get going, I can't imagine life without them, right? But they're very expensive, and then you feel like for a long time that you're not getting your use out of them, and you're making this huge investment as a firm to swap to some new system, and then someone comes in and says, well, now you've got to spend an extra $50,000 to $75,000. This is for a small office, I'm saying. You need to spend that money, right? Less than 10 people. So it's a very expensive proposition, and I'm sure if your owner or whomever's listening to this, they're probably saying, especially now in this climate, I'm not going to spend that money. We got to figure it out. The problem is you need to be able to look past that and see how much time and efficiency and loss in productivity and opportunity cost is being wasted by having your own staff try and figure it out.
I have the solution.
What's the solution?
So the next time we sit down with the powers that be at both Vertifor and Applied, which will be at the next conference that's an in-person conference, what we need to do is get them to agree that between agencies, you can view a template, right? So I could put up, because they've got their, let's say, Applied Client Network, and they've got the NetView users group as well. They're sharing information already. You could take, like, for example, if you're a construction agency out in Texas, you could take our platform as a niche agency and take a templated version of what we've already developed and leverage it. Now, we've already spent the money on it, but there's got to be some like marketplace.
So are you thinking like people can license it from us?
Yes. And vice versa. Because
it's kind of like how Salesforce does in their app store or whatever they have. Right. Yeah, you can license the Goodman Insurance. I mean, it's $1,000 a month. Does that seem reasonable per agency?
I'll do it for $9.99.
Okay. We'll go with that.
But it's a solution because it's not as if the big players are wanting to do the development work anyway.
Totally.
That's not a huge moneymaker for them. It's a time suck. There's the solution.
Well, and they take part of the profit too.
Great. I'll give them 15 points.
I'm pretty sure they'll offer to give you 15 points. Okay. Is there anything else in that?
I think that's it.
No. Cartman, you good?
He's good.
Okay. I am the most recent hire at a small agency of 4 people. The agency started out with a single owner handling both sales and service, with additional employees being added over the last few years as the business grew. I am the newest employee, and have a big part of the agency, and have been
part of the agency.
Your font is so small. I'm spending time with each of the. Dude, your font. Either my eyes are just shot. I am spending time. I'm 3 sips into a drink. I am spending time with each of the other employees to learn the ropes, but I'm finding it difficult to learn everything each person does. Everybody, Justin, read the question.
Everyone does it differently, and there are no real procedures to follow. Is there anything I can do to get all this information organized so that I'm actually able to learn my job?
Right, shorter questions.
Jordan likes a bullet point subject line. So
you want honestly, I don't know what the question's asking.
Basically, this person's new. They don't even have a reference point. So clearly this agency does not have information organized in a proper fashion. And so this is the typical situation where they're thrown into the fire. They got to figure out how to put out the fires, but they don't know where to turn for even the most basic of resources. So I would start with, you've got to go and do you have a common drive, right? Let's start basics 101. There's a centralized location where information is stored. I would then go to every contact that you trust that's got a reasonable, IQ within the agency, albeit if they let you just flail around, I question the IQ level. But what you're going to do is say, give me your top reference documents that you have. So you ask everyone for their top 5, 7 reference documents that they're leveraging, marketing lists, the carrier procedure guidelines for submission, what their market appetites are. Get all that information from the people in the agency, get it all together in one place. And then you're going to break it up by group. So you need to look at the tasks that you need to do. So if there's 15 different processes that you're involved with, then you're going to say, what information do I need to tackle each process? And if nothing's been created, what you're going to ask someone to do is what we tell agency owners to do, is to set up, you can use a Zoom video, record themselves going through the process. They're naturally going to say, oh, and I referenced this document, right? If that document is what they referenced, then you're going to go and see if it's in your little database. If it's not, say, hey, send that over to me. and you'll gradually put this all together. You'll also have it on video recorded. So you commit to the people, if they spend a good chunk of time, one time walking you through with all the different variables, you'll record it and you'll never bug them again.
Haven't we answered this question like 12 times?
I don't think so. Not in this fashion, because we do talk about having, video education.
Right. Video in person, have them watch it 3 times.
Yeah, but here's the difference. This person doesn't even know how to start and set it up. So it is a little more detailed of a question, and I think the challenge is you have to figure out how you're going to really get the team on board with spending time with you and helping you learn, and then being your biggest advocate, right? I don't know what you were sold to come into the company, but if you don't have these resources being given to you and given some structure, that's concerning. I'm not going to say abandon ship. I'm going to say if you're a talented individual, take advantage of the situation and really guide the ship in the right direction.
Do you want to use this to drop a hint at what's forthcoming down the pipeline?
You can drop the hint.
Do you? Hey, Justin, wouldn't it be really cool if there was some kind of way for me to put all my processes and procedures in a really cool, user-friendly e-learning platform?
It would be cool.
Maybe we should incorporate that in our upcoming version of Total CSR so agencies can do that for themselves.
Do you think the 721 requests so far that have asked for that would be happy about it?
They might be, but the 285 who haven't might not be because they don't want to do it themselves.
And we have a solution for that too.
We do?
That we do.
I don't know about that solution. Okay.
So we'll be able to help with that process as well. What we're talking about is we've got some big surprises in the works. As you guys have likely heard, we have a big product launch coming for coverage in the next 60 days. And then after that, we've got some announcements tied to just really making this all-in-one comprehensive system that I think is going to blow your mind. So,
yeah, Total CSR is rad right now. It's going to be another level. 6 months, 6 months, sometime that range.
We'll have our mic drop moment for sure.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
We just stumbled. That question was not
reading through you in this episode.
Reading always throws me. This is what I read at the pace of like a 3rd grade, right?
Third grader.
Third grader.
How much is in this?
Not a lot, honestly. Yeah, I don't think I have anything. What?
I think you're off your game because you don't have your daughters here to jump in and dance and sing, and Cabo's not here.
I also think I'm off my game because I'm drinking a drink that I don't love. You
want some of this?
No, I don't want your Corona mouth all over that bottle.
Again.
You wanted to hand me your bottle. You've been drinking out of it.
Yeah, but we're brothers.
Yeah.
Okay, side tangent. So the golf course we belong to opened up again, so we finally started golfing there.
Right.
And the rule was that if you're family, you get to ride in the same golf cart.
Right.
But then we get there, and we weren't the type of family that they appreciated.
Right.
So we had to ride in separate carts.
Right.
And it was lonely.
They also asked if we were sleeping together.
I said it was none of their business.
Anyway, wow. Well, I hope all of you guys are well and safe and hopefully getting back to work to make some money and getting life going again. If you are in one of those adversely affected areas, I hope you guys are getting well. And otherwise, we will keep reporting each and every week.
Keep reporting. And then also, if you do have questions just on implementation, we went through that and then some. Actually, this guy went through more of it. Mm-hmm. So feel free to reach out to me. I also have implementation partners I can refer you to, and but not Linda. Linda's ours.
Yep. So email Justin at totalcsr.com if you want to talk about that. If you want to talk about beverages, it's Jordan at totalcsr.com. And with that, we bid thee Farewell. Cheers.